Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday afternoon. First time in, I think, 3 months that I wear sweatpants to take the dogs for a walk this morning.
It was chilly this morning.
It was a little chilly in that wind.
Yeah, it was breezy. I noticed that Dana said she took a bike ride earlier today into 30-mile-per-hour headwinds.
Yeah, that'll give you a
workout. More of a workout.
Yeah, summer's not over yet. It's going to warm up. We'll get to the weather in just a minute. But first, here's what's making news today. The man accused of killing a 30-year-old woman in Madison last week makes his first appearance in court.
A fourth-grade teacher in McFarland is facing multiple charges, including child enticement and causing mental harm to a child.
And Hurricane Dorian could be a Category 3 storm by the time it hits Florida. We'll have the latest from Puerto Rico.
Let's take a look outside today. As we were mentioning, breezy and brisk. There's a crispness in the air.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a pretty shot. What is that exactly that we're looking at? Oh, there you go.
You have to wait for the reveal.
Right.
Storms return tomorrow are the weather words. Data's in the backyard. No storms right now. Very
no storms right now at all. It looks beautiful outside. It still feels good, but yes, it is a little windy. If you saw me pedaling around over towards Middleton, going slow like a snail today because of the headwind. Our cloud track has been pretty calm and quiet just because it is so nice and sunny. We don't have a lot of cloud coverage outside, and that means our Doppler track has also been nice and quiet today. Again, if you're looking through a window, it looks beautiful. It is just a little windy outside, and our Doppler track is going to continue to stay quiet through the rest of the evening. 73 in Madison right now, 77 towards Bosquebel, and about 72 in Camp Douglas. So very comfortable temperature-wise. Those wind speeds, these are our sustained wind speeds, 20 miles per hour in Lone Rock, 17 in Janesville, but our wind gusts today have peaked in the upper 20s and close to 30. Dew points are in the 50s, again, just meaning that it feels really nice outside, aside from the wind. Over the next 12 hours, our temps will drop quite a bit overnight through the 60s and 50s, landing in the mid to low 50s for our overnight lows. Tomorrow, the chance for some showers and thunderstorms will bring along a little bit of a warm up in the afternoon. It won't be nearly as windy either, but we'll take a closer look at what is ahead as we head into the end of the week and the weekend in just a little bit. Right now on the roads, here's the Beltline at Rimrock. Both east and westbound are moving. No accidents to report at this time. Of course, the eastbound side is going just a little slower than we would like to see. Those speeds reduced, picking up right around Rimrock and stretching through John Nolan. But the westbound side, no major delays right now. Around Janesville downtown, there are a few more cars on the road, so it's getting a little slower, but 39 and 90 look just fine. From Janesville to the Beltline, 27 minutes, 17 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown. That drive right where it should be, about 16 minutes on this very sunny evening. If you're going on a bike ride or dog walk, just have the windbreaker on hand because it is windy.
Yeah, it really is. All right, Dana, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. We start with breaking news just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Police near Milwaukee say a Madison man was stabbed to death yesterday. Officers in the city of Greenfield say just after noon yesterday, they responded to a report of a person stabbed. That man was later identified as 49-year-old Ben Christensen of Madison. This afternoon, Greenfield police arrested a 19-year-old man in connection to the homicide. Christensen worked for Raymaker and Associates in Sauk City. The COO of the company released a statement this afternoon saying in part he was a wonderful person and a great member of our organization. This is a developing story, and we'll have the latest on our website, channel3000.com. Bond is set at $1 million for the man accused of Madison's first homicide of 2019.
The crime happened last Friday morning. A 30-year-old woman was found dead on the east side, near an east side intersection. Eric Franke joins us now with the latest details from the suspect's initial court appearance today. Eric?
Yeah, Mark and Susan, 58-year-old Lou Jefferson is accused in the stabbing death of 30-year-old Amanda Woods. Her body found just after 4 a.m. last Friday near the intersection of Clyde Gallagher Avenue and Darbo Drive. Woods' friend said she left a nearby apartment party. The criminal complaint suggests that Jefferson approached Woods at a gas station about pooling their money for a cocaine purchase. It led to an argument over $10. Jefferson had given Woods to buy drugs. His lengthy 40-year criminal history led to the high cash bond.
There's no evidence that this is someone who's going to follow court orders, show up for court, do anything you ask of them. I think $1 million cash bail is absolutely consistent with other folks who've been charged with this exact same crime.
Jefferson has that lengthy criminal history we mentioned, including felony battery and vehicle theft convictions, drug charges in Wisconsin dating to the 1990s. The criminal complaint says Jefferson and Woods had never met before that night. Jefferson is being held in the Dane County Jail And that first-degree intentional homicide charge, of course, carries a mandatory life sentence. Mark, Susan.
Thank you, Eric.
Madison police are asking for your help to find a man they believe is involved in a burglary and attempted sexual assault investigation. They released these surveillance photos of an Hispanic man in a gray hooded Gap sweatshirt, dark pants, and white athletic shoes. Officers say they believe he's involved in an attempted sexual assault that happened in the 600 block of North Francis Street on Sunday after 4 a.m. We spoke with friends of the victim today who say the man walked into her apartment while she was sleeping and tried to pull down her pants.
Supposedly he was let in by people who live in our apartment. They held the door for him. So I mean, I guess just be aware of who's around you and don't let someone in if you don't know them.
Madison police are asking anyone who can identify the person in this surveillance photo to call the department. A teacher in the McFarland School District is in jail this evening.
Police arrested Andrew Meeks yesterday around 2 in the afternoon on multiple counts, including suspicion of child enticement. Our Amy Reed is here now to show us what we know so far. Amy?
The district attorney has not filed formal charges yet, but police say this arrest follows an intensive investigation into his activities involving a juvenile. Meeks has been tentatively charged with 1 count of child enticement, 1 count of exposing a child to harmful materials, and 1 count of causing mental harm to a child. Those stay tentative until the DA is done reviewing the case. Wabisa Intermediate School lists Meek as a 4th grade teacher. In an email to parents, the school district superintendent said 2 veteran teachers will be taking over the 4th grade classroom. And in a statement to us, he said he will update us on the status of Meek's employment as he can. Right now, he said he doesn't have access to many details as this is an ongoing investigation, but he is cooperating with police to help them find answers.
We'll continue to follow it. Thanks, Amy.
A Madison school board member is apologizing for comparing police and the Dane County Jail with concentration camps and Nazis. On Saturday, Ali Muldrow made a Facebook post talking about students getting arrested while in school. She said we would not talk about the role of Nazis and act as if the experiences people had in concentration camps is a separate issue. In a statement released to News 3 Now today, Muldrow wrote, "I am deeply sorry for the harm it caused people I want nothing more than to be in solidarity with." You can read more on our website, channel3000.com.
Dorian is now upgraded to a hurricane as it heads near Puerto Rico. Authorities say it could bring life-threatening flooding and power outages. David Begnaud is in Ponce, Puerto Rico.
As Dorian takes aim at Puerto Rico, people here are still recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Maria, and that was 2 years ago. So that's why now they are preparing for the worst.
The island is not pretty anymore.
Some people who don't trust the government's preparations have decided to leave.
I'm so insecure here with the power, the food, the security. So I'm leaving.
Most people are staying. We went to FEMA to find out how ready they are. What gives you confidence that you're better prepared now?
I think, first of all, the amount of supplies we have.
2 years after Hurricane Maria, 30,000 homes are still covered with blue tarps, and about 1,000 roads remain impassable around the island.
If you look around just at this warehouse, and now we have 5 where we used to have 1, there's probably 10 times the commodities on the island that were here pre-Maria. So we've spent the last 2 years learning some lessons and making sure that we're much better prepared.
Yesterday, President Trump claimed that Congress approved $92 billion in aid for Puerto Rico after Maria's devastation. That's not true. Congress has only allocated roughly $43 billion. Less than $14 billion of that has actually gotten to the island.
Well, learning from what went wrong.
The CEO of the island's power company, Jose Ortiz, made a bold prediction last night. He said if the entire island were to lose power in a worst-case scenario, he predicts he could have the lights back on in 2 weeks.
We have to restore as quick as possible. It's not acceptable what happened the last time that many people wait for 11 months to get power back. Imagine if it was your family. So it's going to be different.
FEMA has brought in 100 satellite phones that were activated only last night and today are being distributed to all 78 mayors on the island. It may not seem like a big deal, but that's a game changer because even that at the most basic level didn't exist after Hurricane Maria. Some mayors say they got a cell phone, but the service wasn't even turned on. David Begnaud, CBS News, waiting on Dorian from Ponce, Puerto Rico.
Well, the next Democratic presidential debate had been scheduled to be a two-night affair, but it looks like they'll only just need one night because with the midnight deadline approaching, only half of the field has qualified. So far, 10 candidates have qualified based on poll results and fundraising numbers. They're set to take the stage in Houston next month. Joe Biden maintains a wide lead over his Democratic rivals. The former vice president is 13 points ahead of his closest competition in a new Morning Consult poll, and he has an 18-point lead in the USA Today Suffolk poll. Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are second in both polls.
A former star engineer at Google faces criminal charges for allegedly stealing company secrets about self-driving cars and giving them to Uber, a major competitor. According to the indictment, Anthony Lewandowski allegedly downloaded and stole around 14,000 documents related to Google's self-driving car project before he left the company. He later went on to work for Uber. Lewandowski is regarded by many as a legend in Silicon Valley and created the sensor technology found in most self-driving cars today.
I think the indictment bespeaks a arrogance that, Silicon Valley is the kind of place where, because we're all here to move fast and break rules, we can break the law. That's where we draw the line.
In a statement, Lewandowski's attorney says his client didn't steal anything from anyone and that none of the files in question ever went to Uber.
Well, still to come at 4, if you're a fan of the Greenbush Bakery, you're not going to find it at its old location.
No, that's because the bakery has moved across the street on Regent Street. We'll get a tour of the new location. Tough assignment for me today, Mark.
Tough one.
Go to Greenbush Bakery for the afternoon.
At least you brought samples back.
I did, and that's coming up when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
As the number of cases of lung illness among people who vape continues to grow, the head of the most popular e-cigarette company calls the reports worrisome.
In his first broadcast interview, Juul Labs CEO Kevin Burns told CBS's This Morning's Tony DeCopel the company is in contact with the CDC. The CDC says it is looking into nearly 200 possible cases of severe lung disease that may be tied to the use of e-cigarettes. The cases are reported in at least 22 states.
If there was any indication that there was an adverse health condition related to our product, I think we'd take very swift action associated with it.
A new study in JAMA finds a growing number of middle school and high school students, about a third, are exposed to secondhand e-cigarette aerosols from being around people who vape. Tony DeCopel will have much more of his interview with Juul Labs CEO Kevin Burns tomorrow on CBS This Morning.
More local news now. The newly revived Midwest Express Airlines has announced where its initial destinations will be. A brand new Midwest Express plane landed at General Mitchell Airport in Milwaukee this morning to show off the airline's new look. Midwest Express will offer nonstop flights from Milwaukee to Grand Rapids, Michigan, Omaha, Nebraska, and Cincinnati, Ohio. And of course, the airline will offer their signature fresh-baked chocolate chip cookies.
Speaking of airlines, Delta is hiring more flight attendants. The company is looking to hire 1,000 flight attendants by next year. Applicants must be at least 21 years old and speak English and graduated high school or have a GED. Those who are chosen will receive 6 weeks of training in Atlanta early next year. Delta currently has about 25,000 flight attendants. Energy stocks led the way for a bounce on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials added 258 points. Closing at 26,036, the NASDAQ Composite Index was up almost 30. The S&P 500 gained 18. Well, students aren't the only ones moving this week on the UW-Madison campus. A Madison institution recently moved as well.
Greenbush Bakery moved 1 block down from its former location on Regent Street to the storefront in the Regent apartment. So they're still on Regent Street, but right across from the Scotty Bar.
Okay.
Marv and Barbara Miller founded Greenbush Bakery 23 years ago. Their grandson, Taylor, is now the general manager, and he showed us the brand new space.
Yeah, we've got 1,800 square feet here. It's kind of a little mini version of our new East Side location. We're pretty happy with it. We're glad that we were able to find a spot within a block of where we were at before.
Was it important to you to stay in the downtown area, to stay near campus?
Yes, for sure. We wanted to obviously stay in the Greenbush neighborhood. That was a big thing. Being around campus, you know, this location's been here for 23 years, so we wanted to find something relatively close to where we were at.
Well, just when you thought Greenbush Bakery couldn't get any better, this is so much nicer than your old location. You have places to sit and enjoy coffee and a donut.
Yeah,
it's much bigger.
We've got a bunch of tables and some bar stools over here.
Why is a Greenbush donut so special? What makes it different from so many other donuts?
We use top-notch ingredients in all of our products. Our fry grease that we use is a trans-fat-free soybean oil. And that's part of it too. A lot of donuts, when they're using a cheaper fry grease, you get it to that oily texture.
And so still a kosher bakery.
Kosher. A lot of people ask about what kosher exactly is. And we basically just tell people it's another form of supervision, meeting standards from our rabbi for cleanliness and, ingredients.
Now you're the next generation of the family to take over the business. Tell me a little bit about your role in the company.
So yeah, my grandpa's owned it for 23 years now. Once I got done with school, it kind of was like a perfect timing for things. We were kind of just outgrowing our location down on Regent, and we needed to expand. And it was when we opened up our East Side location. It ended up being awesome out there. And then a year and a half later, we're at this position to be moving locations. And 26 years old. I just know that how much work my grandpa's put into things, and learned a lot from him. I always tell him I learned more from him than I did in my 5 years of college. Just being around, experiencing the business and seeing how things actually operate, you kind of learn as you go. And he's kind of given me free reign to do that on my own. It's been pretty sweet, and yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
It is big shoes to fill, and just seeing the way you're reacting is so beautiful that you are taking this responsibility so seriously. This is about a lot more than just making donuts.
It is.
This is a Madison institution.
It's a tradition.
A tradition, a legend.
Staple of Madison. Donut Man likes to call it Madison's little darling. So, yeah, we just continuing the legacy and you know, keep growing and growing. And
you want to make your grandpa proud, don't you?
that's the goal.
Well, you already have. Mission accomplished. Those are the apple fritters the size of a hubcap. Isn't it something, though, to see him get so emotional?
Yeah, well, it's big shoes to fill.
It is. He's taking it very seriously. It's a big responsibility. Moving has been very stressful, but they are open now, open for business, and it's a great new space because you can sit. There is seating inside, and they're also going to have some seating outside.
And some parking,
weather
too.
permitting, and some parking as well. Yeah.
Wasn't your grandmother a baker?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so I told Barb, she was there, Taylor's grandma, that every time I walk into a bakery, I kind of feel like I'm home a little bit. And wow, you want to talk about aromatherapy. It really smells good in there.
Well, thanks for bringing some fritters back.
I know, it's a very tough assignment for me today.
Well, there's
Best
more
of luck to them.
Yeah, absolutely. There's more to come at 4, including a look at your first alert forecast.
And coming up tonight at 5, we're getting a look at the brand new addition to Madison Area Technical College's Goodman South Campus. That's coming up at 5.
Take a look at this. The Richardson Adventure Farm in Spring Grove, Illinois produced an amazing, maze. The 28-acre maze is designed to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11's moon landing. From this aerial view, the images of 2 astronauts, the Saturn rocket, an American flag, Earth, and the words Apollo 11 and Richardson's farm have been carved out of the corn. The maze officially opens Saturday, September 7th.
I love this time of the year to see all the corn mazes. That one has a little bridge.
That's pretty amazing. That's within driving distance.
That's
Check it out.
very cool. Well, thousands showed up for what is called the largest food fight in the world.
Over 20,000 tickets were distributed for the annual Tomato Festival food fight in the Spanish town of Bunal. The festival is said to have originated from spontaneous bust-up among villagers in 1945. That looks very messy.
A lot of tomatoes.
A lot of tomatoes. Oh, they're just laying in it. Oh, they're just flopping around.
I love tomatoes, but not to that extent.
I love them too, but I would not.
Right over the
right on the head.
That's not a fight.
So how was your bike ride today? We were talking about your extra hard workout.
It was extra hard work, and unfortunately, if you're a road biker, there are some really nice bikes out there, and they were zipping through, but I moved like a bulldozer, and the wind just
Get an electric bike.
I need an e-bike. It is windy outside, y'all, but it looks really pretty, nice and sunny. Tomorrow we have some shower chances. We'll take a look at the forecast after the break. It is really pleasant outside right now. Yesterday also wasn't too bad. I do want to show you this quick time lapse we took from our WISC-TV Skycam of your Tuesday because it ends with a little shower. And there was a little rainbow there. Oh no, the rainbow disappeared from my image. But yes, we did have a few isolated showers yesterday. Today stayed dry. Unfortunately, Thursday, we're going to have some shower and thunderstorm chances creep back on in for us. So our Doppler track right now, nice and quiet. Of course, we have a mostly sunny sky. It's going to be a really pleasant afternoon and evening. Here's a live look from our WISC-TV Skycam words there. We're in the low 70s for our temperatures. Those dew points are in the upper 40s, so it feels very comfortable. But our breeze still coming in at our sustained wind speeds at about 8 miles per hour, but they have really been picking up throughout the afternoon as we do have some high pressure down to the south. That cold front is well off to the east. So we've stayed in just a windy, calm spot this morning through the afternoon. Our next system, though, brewing off in the plains. This cold front is going to swing southeast, and as it does move through, it is going to bring the chance for some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. It moves through very quickly, though, so we're not looking at a long event, and it's not going to stall over us. That's the good news. But for your Thursday afternoon and evening, we're not going to rule out the chance to see some thunderstorms pop on up. That severe potential for your Thursday really favor towards the southeast corner of the state. We've already been upgraded to a slight risk for severe weather. The concern, of course, the potential for some stronger wind gusts. We may see some quick downpours, some heavier rainfall at times as those storm chances come through later on in the day during the heat of the day. Overnight, we'll stay pretty quiet and calm. Tomorrow, we have a little bit of a warm up in front of that cold front. Our breeze switches, so it becomes a little more southerly, and that line of showers and storms, as you can see, crosses through the entire state. Behind it, though, we get a clearing sky for Friday. Friday should be really pleasant outside, and then our next chance for some showers will start to creep in behind that pleasant sky. Not a lot of rainfall coming in with this cold front. We might see up to 1/10 of an inch of accumulation, really just the chance to see some spotty isolated showers and thunderstorms. It's not going to be a big rain event at all, really. Overnight, again, plan on a mostly clear sky. Those temperatures will fall to the mid to low 50s for our overnight lows. The breeze becomes more southerly by tomorrow morning, and then in the afternoon, the rain chances pick on up for us. That line comes through later in the day, right around the heat of the day, as our temperatures will be warmer tomorrow in the low 80s for some areas, close to 80 around Madison. The shower chances continue to travel east. Again, there is going to be that threat for some heavier rainfall at times, so be keeping a close eye on the radar for tomorrow. Heading into Friday, we get a nice clearing sky, and then in the afternoon, we should be really pleasant outside, but it is going to be cooler again. Notice that breeze switching, so it's becoming a little more northwest flow for Friday, so our temperatures will not be back close to 80 for Friday or for the weekend. Overnight, our temperatures will drop quite a bit with that clearing sky. Once the sun sets, we fall through the 60s and the 50s, landing in the mid-50s at about 53 for Madison for overnight lows. Seasonably cool, though. It's really close to where we should be. Our wind speeds staying in the single digits overnight, but for tomorrow afternoon, again, it could be windy again, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Plan on a high of 80 in Madison, pretty breezy outside and a little warmer. The chance for showers and thunderstorms will develop later in the afternoon and evening as that front slides through. Friday, it's going to be cooler behind the cold front. Saturday, we're looking at a chance for some showers under a mostly cloudy sky. Most of the rain chances will stay south of Madison. I'm not ruling out the chance, though, for some of those showers to get close to or around Dane County, but most of it is going to stay closer to the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. For Sunday, we have a nice sunny sky. Monday, partly sunny. Temperatures will be back towards the upper 70s, so it should be a really pleasant day for Labor Day. And another chance for showers. Quick-moving system will slide through and bring some rain for your Tuesday. Some showers and thunderstorms possible for Tuesday and Wednesday next week. But temperature-wise, we just keep trending down. We're moving in the other direction.
It's almost September.
Almost September.
Okay, what's going on around here? Yesterday, you're both in pink. Today, you're both in polka dots. I don't get the memo.
We have the same vibe
There's
going.
some sort of wavelength or energy.
Polka dot ties, I knew.
Oh, we're trying to be like the morning show and,
yeah.
dress
We're just trying to be
coordinate
cool.
our clothes.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll call you tomorrow.
Just wanted to ask.
Let's get a group text going.
Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
A Swedish teenager has caught the world's attention with her journey across the Atlantic Ocean.
Today, Greta Thunberg pulled into a New York harbor on a souped-up sailboat to spread the word against climate change. Tom Hansen was there.
Crowds of people cheered on Greta Thunberg as she completed her voyage into Manhattan.
It just goes to show that one person can literally change the world.
It's just so inspirational to have someone like my age to look up to and be a leader.
The 16-year-old climate activist is from Sweden and has captivated the world with her 15-day trip documented on Twitter from the UK and across the Atlantic, just ahead of the UN Climate Action Summit next month. Along with a 4-man crew, including her father, she traveled across the pond on a zero-emissions sailboat equipped with solar panels and hydro generators. She chose not to fly because of the carbon footprint.
The journey was delayed at one point because of rough seas, but the turbulent waves didn't stop Thunberg from spreading the message to her 1.1 million Twitter followers.
It's very rough and very high waves, and yeah.
The teenager began her protests a year ago and inspired young people in more than 100 cities across the globe to follow suit, demanding action against global warming.
They say they listen to us, and now that is up to them to prove that if they have listened.
She hopes to continue that ripple effect leading up to the September 23rd Climate Summit at the United Nations. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
16 years old.
Wow.
That's incredible.
It is
While
incredible.
representatives from around the world will attend the UN meeting, President Trump has already hinted that he will skip it.
Well, still to come at 4, Milwaukee Brewer star Christian Yelich naked. We'll be right back.
Fans' reaction to Christian's nude ESPN magazine spread. That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking
when
about.
Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back. This is a live look this afternoon of the Virgin Islands as now Hurricane Dorian closes in.
St.
Heavy
Croix.
rain.
Yeah.
St. Croix, yeah.
Best of luck to everyone down there.
That's for sure. Well, Brewers star Christian Yelich is shrugging off the critics of his nude photo shoot for a magazine.
David Schumann has more about how the MVP's tweet response has inspired a new catchphrase.
Roxanne may not have known what she was getting herself into when she tweeted criticism of a Christian Yelich photo shoot.
The MVP will be appearing naked in an upcoming issue of ESPN the magazine. Roxanne said it was sad and distasteful of Yelich. She deleted her tweet, but not before Yelich retweeted her saying, "Relax, Roxanne."
I think it's spicy. That makes me think that the player's awesome, way more. I bet he's gonna hit a home run tonight.
Then Yelich doubled down with the song he decided to play before his first at-bat Tuesday. Roxanne by The Police.
Do you hear the walk-up music? You know the story behind that, don't you? Phenomenal.
Twitter had some fun, too, with references to the song, like one person who said, "Someone tell her she doesn't have to put out the red light." For his part, Yelich said today what was already apparent. He doesn't care what anyone thinks about his decision to pose.
When you have a nice body, why not?
I'm not going to pick it off the newsstand and start gawking at Christian Yelich, in his birthday suit.
T-shirts are now being made that say, "Relax, Roxanne." Kind of reminds you of another Wisconsin sports star who once told people to relax.
RELAX. Okay.
Relax. All right. Now all the Brewers need to do is rip off a long winning streak.
I think he got a home run.
I think so, too.
Well, congratulations to him. Still to come at 4. Summer vacations are coming to an end.
But there is a way to keep that summer vibe all year long. UW's Christine Whelan tells us how when Live at 4 continues.
It is a sunny evening and a busy evening on the roads for us. Here's a look at the Beltline right at Rimrock, both east and westbound sides. Very delayed, very congested right now with a lot of folks on the roads. There is actually an accident on the Beltline on the eastbound side right after the exit to Fish Hatchery, or excuse me, right before the exit to Fish Hatchery Road. The left lane right now is blocked. Again, that's on the eastbound side, causing delays afterwards and delays beforehand also. On the westbound side, we have delays stretching from Fish Hatchery almost to Seminole Highway. Around Janesville, no major hiccups currently, just a few slowdown spots downtown. 39 and 90 all look okay right now. It'll take you 27 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline, from Sauk City to Middleton, 16 minutes, and some parade to downtown a little longer than usual, about 18 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Behold, the biggest and heaviest grapefruit in the world. It was grown in Slidell, Louisiana, weighs 7 pounds, 14 ounces, circumference almost 29 inches. An official from the Guinness World Records certified the records. The family who grew it says they didn't do anything special to produce the monster citrus.
Looks like a pumpkin, doesn't it?
It's awfully big. Well, with cooler temperatures, there's definitely a touch of the upcoming fall in the air.
But as summer comes to an end and the kids go back to school, how do you keep that summer vibe going through the rest of the year? That's what we all want to know, right? Our resident expert on purpose, well-being, and happiness, UW-Madison Professor Christine Whalen joins us now.
Our happiness professor.
Yeah, I'm the happy professor. And the fall can be a time of happiness and not just loss that the summer is over, right?
Yeah, because it can be like a melancholy time of the year.
So for me, it's actually my favorite time of the
Me
year.
too. I love
because
it.
it's all about new beginnings.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it's that melancholy time because the summer is such a special time where you're outside in nature, perhaps on vacation, visiting family and friends that you love. So how do you take that feeling of summer and enjoy it all year long?
There's some research been done on this.
There is. So there's research on a concept called biophilia, which is the idea that nature actually makes us happier, that exposure to nature and green space makes us happier. So that's what we do in the summertime. But even if we can't be outside all year long, there is a way to do this. So research has found that if you show people a stressful movie and then they were put into various different recovery conditions, one looking at a picture of green space, one looking at a cityscape, and one looking at a blank wall. Turns out even just looking at pictures of green space lowers your blood pressure, lowers your stress levels, and has you recover from that high heartbeat and stressful situation that much faster. So first of all, we want to have more images of green in our lives, and ideally get out there and enjoy the green.
That's why I think a lot of cities are adding green spaces.
Absolutely. It's really important, and there's lots of research even coming out of Chicago on the importance of that, not just in terms of well-being, but in terms of self-regulation and behavioral modification. We tend to act better when we're also out in nature as well. Listen, this is how we evolved, right?
Right. It makes a lot of sense.
It really does.
Now, there is another research concept. It's a Spanish word. How do you pronounce it?
Querencia.
Querencia.
Isn't that such a wonderful word? It's
It
a really
is.
beautiful and powerful word. So that is the idea that human beings evolved in a particular place, and that we are connected to a place. So think about it. Do you have a happy place? Do you have a place that you go back to, or that is no longer there, but you wish you could go back to, that has all sorts of really great memories? And in the summertime, so many of us go back to our happy places, whether it's going back home to visit relatives, or for me, I just got back from 2 weeks at the beach. And it is a particular beach, a particular dune, and that is my happy place. So this idea of querencia is to recognize and honor that connection and figure out ways that we can either get back and recharge our batteries at that place, or even bring an image of that into our lives. So for example, in my car, all last winter, I bought this little thing on the rear view mirror. It's a little surfboard, and it says, "The ocean fixes everything."
Oh, I love that.
And really, that made me happy all winter long.
So you don't have to physically go to the place. If you can, that would be great. But just the thought of it and the reference of it brings you that feeling.
Ideally, we try to go back to that place, and that's where we can kind of recharge and plug in those emotional batteries. But if not, remembering it, or even creating a new place, a new emotionally significant place to us, can really recharge us. The idea that people have to be all the things that fill us with joy. How about a little bit of place and space as well?
So don't mourn the loss of summer. Relish it and relive the memories.
And relive the memories and try to bring some of those little tidbits throughout the year. Even a scented candle that reminds you of your vacation. All these little things that bring our senses back to those great memories.
And embrace winter. There's a reason we live here. But a lot of people like the change of the seasons.
Yeah.
Easier said than done when it's Siberia in the middle of January. But But, you know, maybe that's part of it, too.
It is, and in fact, people's happy place may actually be out skiing, maybe be out in the snow, and in which case, you know, your happy place is still yet to come, so you can enjoy that ahead, too.
Yeah, summer's miserable. Bring on winter.
Bring on winter. For a lot of people, that's true.
Well, interesting studies. So, do you mourn?
I don't, you know, I love fall. Autumn is my
too.
favorite season. It's all about new beginnings and new possibilities. So this is my happy time, especially now that I've recharged at the beach.
Yeah, see, perfect.
School's
perfect
right
timing.
around the corner.
Yeah,
That's right.
Have a great semester. School's almost back.
Thank you. I look forward to it, and we'll talk more about all these things.
We'll see you next month.
I look forward to it.
Thanks,
Christine. Good to see you.
Final check of your forecast is coming up. Still windy out there.
A little windy, but looks beautiful outside. And if you don't mind the wind, it's still nice and sunny.
I don't mind the wind.
No. Temperatures are pretty comfortable, and our dew points are low. That's the good news. Here's a live look from our WISC-TV sky cam. Of course, we don't have too many clouds in the sky if you to the north, but otherwise our visible cloud track has been really nice today. Doppler track also nice and quiet. Unfortunately, we can't say the same for tomorrow afternoon, but currently it's very comfortable. Temperatures in the 70s. Those wind speeds, though, as far as your sustained wind speeds go, about 17 miles per hour in Janesville, 15 in Mineral Point, and 20 in Lone Rock. Our wind gusts in the mid to upper 20s. Those dew points again in a very comfortable spot. It'll stay nice and comfortable outside through the next 12 hours. Once we get closer to sunset, the temps falling through the 60s, and then overnight through the 50s. Will land in the mid to low 50s for our overnight lows. Again, if you have outdoor plans this evening, you're all good to go. It's really nice outside, but tomorrow we are looking at the chance for a few more showers and thunderstorms to pop on in later in the afternoon and evening for your Thursday.
And back to 80.
Back to 80. A little bit of a warm up, just a brief little hop up with our temperatures, and then we're right back down again by Friday, and Friday is also going to bring back the sunshine for us. So if you can handle just a few isolated storms tomorrow, I think we'll be sitting good by
Nice
Friday.
to open the windows today.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Sure.
Get a little bit of fresh air in there. I know my house is still smelling like summer, you know, that humidity. So we're waiting for some cooler days to pop all the windows open.
They'll be coming.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Just a few more weeks, we'll be good.
All right, Dana, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we'll get advice on how to help your child make the transition to kindergarten.
And our Melissa Kim will be live at Lambeau Field for a preview of the Packers' last preseason game. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. In today's Final Touch, a jetliner in the water about to sink.
Hold on, this is a good thing. Hundreds of Jordanians gathered at a beach to watch the sinking of this jet. It'll become part of a subterranean museum in